The Coyotes finally did it. Finally got their man. Whether it's this jersey or whatever jersey you want to talk about. The Arizona Coyotes now have Rick Tocchet as their head coach. So, in losing Dave Tippett, they lost a guy who'd been there for a very long time. And the change needed to happen. Regardless of why it happened, the change needed to happen. Now, Arizona is looking to build themselves into being somewhat of a contender this year. At least a contender for a playoff spot. They finished with a woeful, I think it was 70 points they ended up with. And you simply can't keep treading water like this. Hopefully Tocchet turns the team around in that when people complain, oh, Arizona shouldn't have a team, and I hear it on every single video that I do for the Coyotes. Tocchet is coach. They've brought in a guy like Hjalmarsson to help lead the blue line. They brought in Stepan. They've brought in Ranta. There's a lot of things to like that are going on in Arizona right now. But really there's a mentality with this club that has to change. I don't blame fans for not going. And I always see that. I always see, well, attendance is bad. They shouldn't have put a team in the desert. This team's been in the desert for over 20 years. How many rounds of hockey have they won? How many good years have they had? How many true superstar players have played for the Arizona Coyotes, or before that, the Phoenix Coyotes? How many disappointing seasons has there been? I don't blame fans for not wanting to go. It is hard to go and watch games when you know your team isn't going to be very good. It is tough to go and watch a team in October that finished really poorly at the end of March, early April, and it's the same team they're putting on the ice, or maybe worse. How many years has Arizona been mentioned as a contender? I can't think of a single year that the Coyotes have been tagged as a contender. They have to build to that. Hopefully Rick Tocchet's the guy that can get them there as the coach. I like Tippett. I'm not going to complain too much about Tippett. I know there's been complaints about Dave Tippett. I think he's a professional. I think he's a perfectionist as well. And I think sometimes that holds him back. Tocchet, if he's a coach like he was as a player, he'll be emotional, he'll be a leader, and the players will want to play for him. His players wanted to play with him when he was a player. He's coming off of a very successful run as an assistant in Pittsburgh and has been replaced by Mark Recchi in Pittsburgh, which is a fantastic move as well. It was like it was Legends Day as LA said Pierre Turgeon's coming out as their offensive coordinator. Assistant coach roles are changing, and they should. Tocchet can definitely coach a team to play tough. Tocchet can coach a team to play on the edge, and they've given Tocchet a few veterans, added and sprinkled in with the rookies, and with Clayton Keller coming in as well, and Chychrun with a year under his belt on the blue line, maybe Arizona gets better. See, last summer I was bullish on Arizona. They can't be bad forever. Arizona's my pick for a team that's going to turn it around. They didn't. They didn't get close. And I admit they didn't get close. But in my defense, there just isn't one. But they have Ekman Larsson on the blue line, and despite the fact that he wasn't in my top 10 defensemen in the NHL, he's a very good defenseman. And they have the makings of a good offense. If Domi can get it together and keep it together and stay healthy, if Keller can come in and have a seamless transition to the NHL, if Stepan can get some of his scoring back that he had, who knows? Defensively, I think they're going to be better. In net, Ranta, I think, is a huge upgrade over Mike Smith. And I know Smith got an All-Star, nomination, and he was there. But I remember seasons in Vancouver where the team was really bad, and the team MVP was usually the goaltender, because he was peppered every night. So he'd save 38 out of 41 shots. He'd save 41 out of 45 shots. And you look at the end of the night and go, wow, his save percentage is over 900. He really kept us in that game. So at the end of the year, he's your MVP. But if your team was good, he'd be seen as a good goaltender. But because your team is bad, he's seen as way better than what he is. I'm not saying that happened with Smith, but I am saying I think Ronta is an upgrade. I do. I think Ronta is an upgrade. I mean, like, let's just say that Tocchet is going to be a really good coach and get the most out of players. He's got Christian Dvorak, who has offensive potential. Dylan Strome, is this the year he comes in and contributes? Like I said, Stepan's only 27. He can definitely step in and do something for them. I really didn't mean that to come out. Oh, that just sounded so stupid. Keller, I'm keeping it. Keller, 18 years old, 5'10", small side, but hey, you know, smallish forwards are in now. Domi can take that next step. I think Toby Reeder can still score 40, 45 points. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I can't look at the roster they have right now. Like, let's look at their top 6 on the blue line. You got Ekman Larsson, Goligoski, Chalmerson, Shen. I meant Jalmerson. Chikrin, and either Clendenning or Connaughton. Whichever Vancouver cast-off you want to put down as the number 6 or number 5 forward. Or number 5 defenseman. But at least with the right coach, things can start to turn around for the Arizona Coyotes. So the question I have for you guys is, can Arizona turn this around? Because as a former fan of the Vancouver Grizzlies, and I tried, and the Grizzlies had something similar to this too with their jerseys that was ugly. But I know what they're going for with that, and I admire their moxie, but it just comes out looking ugly on a jersey. The Grizzlies couldn't draw because the Grizzlies couldn't win. Basketball was not, at the time, a sport that seemed natural in Vancouver for a professional team. And I think some of that happens with Arizona. You've got to win. I admire anybody who's a Coyotes fan right now. And I don't say that with any trace of sarcasm whatsoever. If you are on the edge of your seat watching these guys play, and you believe in your heart it's going to get better, I really admire you for the fact that during the 80s as a little kid, I couldn't watch the Canucks and have any faith in them until the trade happened. And Ronning, Momesso, and Dirk came in, and Courtnall came in, and then all of a sudden everything turned around. Arizona hasn't really had that moment yet. So is Tocchet the start of that? What do they do to fix what's wrong? Does this help fix what's wrong? Was Tippett the problem? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you guys again soon.